We are now streaming.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. I believe, what are we on, Matt? Session 13?
Session 13. This is where we all die.
Lucky 13.
Oh boy, and it's October.
Haha, at least it's not Friday.
Yeah.
All right. So where we last left off, you guys have made your way from the safe house of the Marshals of Korth, cross the desert-like plains into Gatherhold. You took kind of a back way into the city, and you met a group of creatures who were obviously on the lookout for Dirogate, and more specifically, his book, his tome that he carries. As you guys, after you finished the fight and found out the note and the crude copy of his tome, you decided to all take the same route, but you staggered your arrival. So you made your way into the city of Gatherhold, the cliffside capital of the halflings of the Talenta Plains. The city rings a huge section of Lake Sire on the border of the Mournlands. Now, as we get into the city, there's a couple of things that I wanted to go over with you guys. And these would be things that your characters would know, your characters would think about due to your background, for those of you who have been a part of the Servitor cell. So this would apply to all but Dirogate. So there's a couple of things. Number one, many of you have the ability or background feats to try and make contacts wherever you go. And these could be contacts in the underground of the city, potentially criminal contacts, and you would also kind of know, particularly those of you with law enforcement backgrounds, Regic, you would know where the areas would be. You would recognize parts of town where information can be found. People are likely to accept some bribes, and so the other thing is you would know how to avoid or watch for tails. So as you guys are moving throughout the city, when you're looking to see if you're being followed, if there's anyone paying too close attention to you, or if there's anyone who might be like sticking out, right? Being conspicuous, then you would get advantage on your perception rolls. So I know the very first thing you guys are going to probably want to do is find a safe house. Now, obviously, if there was a servitor safe house, that would be best, but currently that's completely out of the question. Nor do any of you know if there even is a servitor safe house. Okay? But by safe house, that could be something as simple as an inn in an inconspicuous part of town, someplace that has good lines of sight, multiple routes of escape. Those are the things you guys are going to look for, as is just ingrained into you. When you guys are operating deep in undercover, you're going to be looking for things like that. You're not going to let yourselves get caught, trapped, etc. So the very first thing you guys are going to want to decide is, where are you going to meet as you stagger into town? Now, I kind of listened to the last session at the end, and we didn't quite settle on whether or not you guys were going to split immediately and then, meet at some preordained destination. Dirogate is familiar with Gatherhold, unlike the rest of you.
Well, I
But-
thought we made a plan to meet at the docks at noon.
Okay.
We did.
Hmm.
All right. Perfect.
And I was going to try to, Regic and I were going to go, and I was going to try to get in contact with a fence using my criminal background to locate someone
Beautiful.
Yeah, I was
to
gonna.
the gear.
I was gonna try to find a warehouse hidey hole that we could
Yeah,
reload off of.
half the
Alright.
team was gonna look for the safe house in the docks, and me and Kraz were gonna go sell the gear and just put our finger on the pulse while we're out there.
There is no
All right.
Kraz, it's Gorlag.
Gorlag.
Right.
Gorlag.
Gorlag the Barbarian. Although we have not updated your profile pic, so you're still a goblin.
Yeah,
But,
I can't do that myself.
oh, snap. Well, I'll take care of that for you at some point.
You're a dream.
Okay, so, the very first thing I want to talk about is when you guys make your way into the city. Which group went first into the city? We're going to start with that.
Me and Regic.
Okay. So as Gorlag and Regic make their way, quick question, Regic, what have you? Did you change yourself?
Yeah, I made myself look more like a desert folk merchant, and I used my spell Disguise Self to make my clothing look the part.
Boom. Okay. So you guys go in. So if Regic looks like a merchant, I'm assuming maybe Gorlag looks like maybe a bodyguard. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
at least someone to accompany you.
Yeah.
Maybe a beast of burden. Right.
Yeah, like a tagger along.
Okay.
Not
All
an
right.
authority.
The
If you're
hustle
a good
and
henchman, maybe you'll
bustle.
get promoted to lackey.
Fingers crossed.
The hustle and bustle as you enter into the city is really, staggering. You guys make your way through the smaller part of the canyon, and another part of the canyon opens up, and there are dinosaurs moving back and forth. Small ones, the little, the smaller, almost like the the raptor style. You see groups of halflings darting in and out through traffic. You see bigger dinosaurs, hauling things. In addition to that, you see carts and carriages. But the traffic is just immense. And as you make your way to that main artery, you are soon completely swallowed. And you can know there's no way, even if someone was watching every single artery leading into the city, there's no way that anyone could keep tabs on you as you guys are forced to weave your way into this press of traffic. Right now, it is currently just before noon. I am going to go ahead and unpause the game just so that time ticks by as we kind of go through. So as you guys make your way, I would like both of you to roll a perception with advantage, please.
All right, so my little quick bar is not there. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, because there's no tokens on the map currently. You just go to your character sheet.
I have to do it the ghetto style. What is it again?
I know.
Perception, you said?
Yeah, perception. And then click the plus next to it to roll with advantage. There you go. Okay. So Gorlag, you are keeping your eyes out. You're looking, and so far everything seems pretty good. However, Regic, you notice a small group, and there's a larger, like, not quite like Triceratops style dinosaur, but
Like a Dimetrodon?
Oh, hey guys, Emily just called. I gotta cut the game short. All right, we're just gonna end it here. No, not a Dimetrodon. Not even a Dimetrodon. Actually, no. This is kind of like a smallish Brachiosaur style thing. But you can see, Regic, that there is a halfling perched on top, and he is avidly scanning the crowd.
Does he appear like law enforcement or like a mercenary or?
Nope. He just you just notice that it's odd. You're on the lookout for exactly this type of behavior, and they are there's a group of men below them, not all halflings, mixed race, quite a few humans, and a warforged. And they're just scanning the crowd.
All right, I'll nudge Gorlak, and I'll just like give him the chin, like look over there, and then keep my head down and keep moving.
All right, and you guys just kind of are able to steer away, but you make note. Now granted, could have nothing to do with you. You don't know the intent, but it certainly stands out. So you guys make your way through this main artery, and immediately you are you almost immediately you hit like the main marketplace bazaar, because most of the arteries lead up with like the main so here you are making your way into, and you can see stalls, you can see the palaces. There's it's hard to find cliff type cities, so imagine all those clouds are actually cliffs. So as you guys are making your way inside, closer into the city, and actually technically speaking that could be the lake side and you're at the cliff side, so it's all good, but you make your way into it, and the two of you don't have a really good, like, you don't have a map, you don't have a layout, you've never been to Gatherhold before.
Yeah, I was gonna purchase a map if I could find one somewhere. Like, it looks like there's a cartographer anywhere. Or...
Yeah. I would say, unlike MMORPGs, maps of cities aren't really a thing. Most of what you would do is ask for directions.
Okay.
Right. And you are more than welcome to roll an insight. And I'll give you advantage, both of you, an insight roll to find someone who is a good person to ask. Someone is either distracted or is just not going to remember you. They're not important. You can kind of single them out by the way they move, what they're doing, their station, things like that. And so I would say both of you find a pretty good individuals that you can stop and ask directions, knowing that there's probably no way that this person is on the lookout for you, right?
Right.
What are you thinking we're looking for? Because I'm not looking for a specific location. I'm looking for a certain type of person.
What I'm looking for,
certain types of people.
I'm looking for a high-end dealer in antiquities and jewelry, so we can sell those statues.
I don't think we should go for someone like that. We should find someone who finds those people on our behalf, but someone that will keep our name hidden.
Well, the only reason why I'm not too afraid of that is because you and I are both disguised, and there's no one is going to be able to recognize us. So I think we have a little bit.
Whether they recognize us, it's whether they recognize the idols.
Okay, you got a point.
Because lines can be drawn based on the things that we're selling, which is why a criminal offense of some sort is better as a middleman than going directly to the trader. That's
the only thing that I would say, having a law enforcement background, is that I haven't met a criminal that I trust.
Yeah, neither have I.
Everybody can be bought. Anybody can be bought. So if somebody's looking for us, and I don't know, we could probably look for a few people, maybe.
Real quick, guys.
I've got contacts. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I'm having you roll for. You guys don't know the layout of the city, but you know how to ask the questions that would lead you to the areas of the city where you'd find the people you're looking for. And so what you're doing is you're subtly asking questions that will, okay, here's this major city, and both of you know where are the likely areas where you're going to... Oh, didn't you already do your insights?
I haven't.
I thought you already did them.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're looking for is directions. You know roughly the type of area that you're looking for, and so what you're going to do is you're going to ask subtle questions. You're going to be like, that, you're going to be able to use your criminal contacts, but mostly this was just find someone who can give you general directions about the city in lieu of having this nice little map that says here's the docks, here's the slums, so on and so forth. So I'm going to say, again, Regic, you spot a cleaner, and he is bedraggled because he's not just cleaning up after horses. There are dinosaurs, and so the literal amount of shit that he's cleaning on a daily basis is probably enough to just slowly crush anyone's soul. So you find someone who really just needs a break, and you go over. You can roll if you want. You can roll like a persuasion roll, anything, and you just kind of know that this guy's just feeling down, but there's probably no one better that knows the city as he's cleaning everywhere, right? So you kind of go over to him, and I'll leave it up to you. What do you want to ask? And don't worry about specific dialogue. Tell me what you're trying to find, and I'll tell you if he knows.
So basically, I'm going to ask him where we can find high-end vendors for antiquities, and I'll also ask him. I'll give him a sly look, and I'll be like, "What about?" And also, I'm looking for people that aren't quite on the up and up. Yeah, if he knows what I mean. Maybe toss him a couple coins.
Yeah. So you spend a little bit. You first start off. Oh, boom. So you first start off, and right away, you're building some rapport with him. You're commiserating on his poor plight as he just stares at this giant deuce that some beast just took. Doesn't want to move. You start building a rapport. You start talking to him. You start talking about the city, and you're just subtly dropping these hints. And he's quick to tell you, based on your conversation, if you're really looking for high-end art, he tells you to go to the upper side of the city. but he winks at you and says they'll skin you alive. If you want fair prices, go see Magram at the Curiosity Shop in the old part of town.
Okay. So
All right.
I will, as a courtesy, I will cast my Move Earth spell to pick up a big pile of shit and put it in his wheelbarrow for him.
That's amazing. And he just, with the coins, make sure you deduct any coins you give him.
Yeah.
But with the coins and the little helping hand you gave him there, dude's got some pep in his step after that. And you know that he'll remember you, but you have the feeling that he's also he's also not going to remember you if you get my drift.
Exactly.
So if someone comes looking, he's got your back. Like this guy, he just thinks you're all right. You might be a fancy merchant, but instead of just, making more work for him, you actually went out of your way to show him kindness, help him out, and hell, he got some money out of the deal. So quickly forgotten, but you definitely instilled a bit of loyalty.
Okay.
So you go ahead?
I'll tell Gorlag the information. I'll say, okay, so we can go up to the richer part of town and sell these items, but there's also an interesting fellow who's he's much more into. He sounds like he's more going to be more our style. If you'd rather do that, I forgot his name.
I'd prefer the second.
Okay, so let's head in that direction. Morag.
And just from for Regic, what you know in just your time as a police officer, and the both of you making contacts, both of you would probably also know that it kind of goes unsaid that chances are Morag is going to have contacts underground. Right? So it's probably a good area to both find someone as well as make some contact. Okay, other group. You guys, so Jordan, Derogate, and Aragnis. Aragnis, you are not wearing your armor, or are you wearing your armor? I can't remember if you...
I will be storing it away for my escapade into the city.
Okay. And I'm going to say you guys have probably... I know Jordan rolled a disguise. Derogate has made use of the... what's it? Rabbit fur sash. What did you guys get? This is the weirdest thing. Random loot for the win. Yeah, it's a rabbit fur sash. So he's kind of got that thing wound around his, face, which is pretty normal. There tends to be dust and things like that, so it's not uncommon for people to have their face covered, especially coming into Gatherhold. And you guys make your way into the city. Again, the first thing that hits you is just the sheer volume, the noise, and the constant stream of traffic heading into the city. You move pretty slow, but you make decent time. I mean, you're going at a leisurely pace. I would like all three of you, and again, you'll have to go to your character sheet, to give me a perception roll with advantage. Someone's ready. All right, so Derogate, if you move your mouse over that 11, hit the plus sign next to that, and it will roll again with advantage. There you go. You really can't get better than that, Aragnis, so no sense in you.
I do have a D4 too.
Oh, roll it.
How do you? Oh, wait a second. That's on the
Yeah,
side.
in the chat, but in the chat window, there's the first one is a D4. So Jordan, same thing to you. Hit the plus sign next to your 17, and that will roll with advantage. 26.
You are all much more perceptive than Reggie and
Yeah.
myself.
So,
Oh, my advantage roll is actually worse.
all right. So as you guys are making your way, now as luck would have it, you guys had to get out of the way, and so you kind of are taking a different lane than the other group coming in. So while you do also see the Brontosaur that's just parked there, you're on the opposite side of it. And while you do see the halflings, you also see a group. Now, Aragnis, you see a measle. And you see it hiding in a basket. So those things that you fought, you can actually see it like hiding inside of a basket. You just see just a bare glimpse of its head, and it's clearly looking and scanning traffic. Now this basket is sitting atop it's like one of those lizards from Star Wars, right? The desert lizards on Tatooine. It's sitting on top of that, and there's people, driving it, but you can see this thing inside the basket. Go ahead, Matt, or did you have a question?
They're called dewbacks. Okay, continue.
Dewbacks. There you go. So it's kind of like a dewback. you can clearly see this thing, and
is this the same group as the halflings?
No, nope. You're different. Like I said, you see those groups. You all do see them, but you are on the opposite side of them, and there's no way they're seeing you. But close by to you, as this thing. I'm gonna give you a chance to react. You're the only one that sees it. Now, you have a choice to make. You can steer your group, or you can just attempt to block vision to derogate.
How close am I to the creature?
As it turns out, you guys are pretty. You're gonna be walking by, and it's gonna have line of sight to you. So you have a small chance to move your group and risk a disturbance, something to stand out, or you can choose to do something that would block line of sight to derogate. Because, again, at least for the measle, that little bastard, they're looking for derogate.
True.
But you don't. There's a risk that, like, the reason I'm giving you two options, because there is a risk. They're looking for him, totally. But they could also be looking for you guys, and you're going to have to depend on your current disguises. But you know that if you suddenly shift, it's going to cause a disruption in the flow of traffic. And so you risk highlighting yourselves or you could go to a third option, make a distraction. I don't know. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I was thinking more the distraction route. I was thinking maybe like pretend to trip and fall and like land on the animal.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this, because the way that I'm thinking is if you were to do that, you're going to bring more attention to yourselves, not less. Like something that might make a good distraction. Trip the guy next to you. Shove a guy into somewhere else, right? Or you're a little limited on
Maybe,
magical
yeah,
abilities.
maybe shove a guy into the creature would be the best thing.
Okay.
I want to disrupt the
scene.
creature that the basket's on.
Yeah, here's the scene. You guys are walking into the city. This dewback is walking out of the city, and you guys are gonna pass each other. All right. Now,
Okay.
there are people to the left, so there are people that are technically closer to this thing than you are, but it's up high, and so there's no one that's going to block its line of sight the closer you get. So I'm going to say you would have an option to push what looks like a bugbear worker. He looks like he's part of a crew, like a work crew. You could push him into it. You could also try and create a distraction, like, behind you. Or, like I said, you could try and block line of sight. But if you want to, what I would have you do is now you also have the option of potentially signaling Jordan. I'm just trying to look at your skills. You would easily be able to make an athletics, but to veil your distraction, you would want to try and make a sleight of hand.
Which I would not be very good at.
Yeah. I will say that if you can beat if you can hit a DC 10 on your sleight of hand, and remember you start with inspiration, so DC 10 on your sleight of hand, it's just a straight D20 for you. So you have 50-50.
Hey,
you
I'm
can
a
do that
kind of guy.
And then I'm going to say you want to do at least a I'm going to say a DC 12 on your athletics. Then you will successfully push this guy into the path, but he's not going to know it was you that pushed.
Oh, hence the sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So D20.
So it's kind of like a complex skill check. He's going for it.
Make it.
You have inspiration.
Nice.
All right. I'll use it.
Boom!
Okay, and then the athletics I'll do that from my character sheet since I have a bonus for that.
I mean, you could have done sleight of hand too, but that doesn't matter. All right. So I'm going to call that a partial success.
Drat!
Yeah, you just needed to roll a 6 or higher on that one. So I'm going to call that a partial success. Let's see.
Hey, man, I gotta take a quick break and put kids to bed.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
All right. So as you kind of just go in and shoulder this guy, you kind of do like a little bit of a hip check, and you're able to do it in a way where it's not obvious. The guy goes part of the way into the path of the oncoming lizard, and I'm gonna say that there is a high or low, Ragnus?
Low.
All right.
Oh.
All right. So
Womp.
The guy on top, sees the guy. He shouts out, and he's the bugbear that you pushed is able to stop himself before he like collides with that, and he's just like, "Watch where you're going." And the bugbear stops and just kind of looks around. You can see that all of the attention of the visible folks are taken by what just happened, but you see the thing in the basket. It makes eye contact first with you, passes over, and then its eyes snap back towards Jordan and Darrowgate. Now they're on the right side of you, and it's hard to say which one triggered, right?
Well, I just want to say one thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Jordan caked a whole bunch of horrible makeup on Darrowgate's face last time.
Yep.
He failed his disguise check miserably. Just
I remember. I remember. All right. So as soon as he does, this thing starts like shaking the basket. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna. Am I within reaction range of the basket?
Potentially. What are you thinking though? So like, here's the thing. Like, I just want to make sure you're aware of kind of what's going on. So you've seen a couple people that are on the lookout. Your best bet.
I think our best bet's probably to find a way out of there.
Yeah, is to try and get lost in the hustle. Now, again, it was a partial success because right now, no one's listening to the thing in the basket.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have a moment. You can either choose to start heading away from it and cut through the crowd, and lose yourself in the crowd, or something more. But if there was to be a big kerfuffle, you've already seen plenty of guards, gather hold troops, if you will, on fasties, those little quick dinosaurs, patrolling up and down. It would not go well for you to cause a scene that would require their...
No.
Yeah. So I'm going to say you can get the attention of Darrowgate and Jordan, and you guys can try and make your way and lose yourself in the crowd.
All right, I will. I'll tap them on their shoulders and motion my arm towards a path that I think would get us away.
Okay, so what I would like everyone to roll. I'm gonna say let's have everyone roll. All right, I'm going to give you the option of rolling your athletics because you're going to clear the path, and then I will let Darrowgate and Jordan roll acrobatics to keep up and dodge through. but you're going to want to give me DC 14 on your athletics to make progress. Boom. All right, Derogate, give me an acrobatics roll.
Oof.
Oh boy. And then
Nimble like a
Jordan. I'm gonna roll.
You might have to roll for Jordan. You might have to roll for Jordan.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just did. Public roll, perfect. Okay, so Derogate gets stopped. This is going to be almost like a mini skill challenge. So there's one failure. You can choose to roll. Let's see. Let's let Derogate. Okay, so Derogate. Here's the scene. Aragnis is forging ahead. Jordan is able to duck and weave through the crowds as you guys push your way away from this lizard. Now you know there's something going on that he desperately wants you to get away from. So what skills can you use to help further your distance yourself, lose yourselves in the crowd? So if you take a look at your skills, you can tell me... Let me open your character sheet up. You could say you're going to use your deception to hide behind, to like quickly duck behind someone carrying this giant basket on their head. Or you can use your, I would say potentially animal handling to goose some horse or something like that and get them out of your way. How a skill challenge works is you guys want 3 successes before you get 2 failures.
All right.
And
can this be anybody or?
Right now we're going to start with Derogate. We started with you last time.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to. I like the deception. I'm going to try and use that to hide behind. There's like a wagon that's kind of heading in the same general direction they are, so I'm going to kind of duck behind that and try and follow along it.
Love it. All right, roll your skill. Boom. So as you are slowly getting behind, you time it just perfectly, and you manage to slip in. And you're able to continue to distance yourself. Now you can still see Aragnis, you can still see Jordan, who seem to have no trouble making their way through the crowd. I'm going to say we're going to go back to, since Jordan's still out, Aragnis. You see out of the corner of your eye, originally Derogate had gotten stopped. Someone cut right across his path. He wasn't able to get around them, but you see he used a cart that just kind of shimmied away, and he just slid perfectly right alongside that. Now you want to try and get back to him. Bring Jordan with you. What are you going to do? What are you using in this mass of people that will help you guys lose yourselves and put more distance between yourselves and that Dubak?
So he is in between the cart right now, or?
He's alongside a cart, so he's making use of this cart. He's like perfectly positioned himself to where the wheels are covering his legs. Like there's no way that they can see him, but he's got to still cut eventually back over to you, or you've got to cut back over to him, because right now you guys are separated. He got stopped, but he made clever use of this cart to duck through. So just describe how you're navigating through this. What skills are you going to use? Like I said, it can be whatever makes sense in the situation. It's up to you. Think about how this mass of people, these animals, this huge crowd, what are you going to use to further hide yourself from that Dubak, as well as bring your party closer together? You could, like I said, you could.
I will try.
animal
Yeah,
handling.
I'll try to do some animal handling if there's
Perfect.
a beast of burden that's in our path that aligns with Derogate. I'd like to maybe get up beside it and use it as cover, but without disturbing the animal.
Perfect. So go ahead and roll. Oh man, look at that. Okay, so what ends up happening as you're making your way through, you see this cart. This is definitely not normal for Arachnus. I'll say that. Maybe the re-import of D&D Beyond was a good thing.
Yeah, maybe.
So, you see this horse, like more like a mule, pulling, and you kind of see how the guy driving the beast, he's not really paying attention. And so all you do, knowing how you would guide like a horse or something like that, you just subtly take the end of his whip that's hanging near the horse, you flick it around, and you hit the mule on the other side. And what it does is it turns. So it totally stops traffic as people that were streaming along the side have to stop as this thing kind of just merges lanes. And immediately you and Jordan are able to swoop in and rejoin Derogate alongside this cart. So not only do you have this cart blocking your left side, as this dewback is now behind you to the left, you now have this fully loaded cart in front of you. Now you guys have that opportunity. I don't know, is Jordan back?
He is.
Oh yeah.
Jordan! So here you are. You have this, you know where the danger was, and it is now behind you and to the left. Now it is still facing the wrong...
Do I know it was a Meekle?
No. You just know that you got a signal, and your training, your conditioning is like, okay, we move. So as soon as Arachnus told you, go right, you guys went right. You got separated from Derogate, but as you guys rejoin with Arachnus redirecting the mule, now you have a little bit of cover. What are you going to do? What are you going to use in your surroundings to finish and just lose yourself from this thing? So what skills are you going to use? What about your environment with this press of people, these animals, these carts? Heck, you could even duck into the wrong lane of traffic. Just tell me the skill and describe how you're using that skill to finish putting the distance between yourselves.
Because ideally what I'd like to do is double around to a hidden place where I can observe. So I kind of want to split off from the group and then just kind of observe how this all shakes out.
Then I would say
safe, unobserved position.
All right. Maybe set yourself up to cause another distraction. Maybe. I think the goal now. The one thing you want to consider.
Am I standing next to anything? I mean, am I?
Yeah. To your left is a cart. Right behind you is a cart being pulled by a mule.
Okay.
So you got a cart with pulled by a horse on your left. You got a rush of people on your right, and then right behind you is a cart being hauled by a mule. Now, you don't necessarily want to get split up because you're not actually sure. If something goes wrong, you're going to want to, move together as a group. But you guys also know you're heading towards the docks to find a safe house. So I would say probably wouldn't want to stop. The goal is to lose yourself in the crowd.
Elevated positions. Could I use athletics to like escape up to a balcony or something where
Well,
I?
it's not. So here's the thing: it's not just about you escaping, because you know you could probably use stealth or something like that. The goal is to get your group safely through into the city and lose yourself in the crowd. So how are you going to use your skills to ensure that your group as a whole makes it in undetected? So you can't think about just yourself. So what in your environment? So like, Aragnis, he used his animal handling to steer the mule cart, slowing traffic and putting more distance between yourselves and the dewback. Think of ways that you can use your skills to either create a distraction or maybe a small traffic jam that you guys can duck into that break in traffic and start walking much faster than your leisurely pace. So some skills that you could potentially use: sleight of hand.
You could steal something off a cart, or something to
performance.
Yeah, is there?
Right.
Is it kind of like the picture? There's these kind of open bazaar type tents and things.
That's what you can see ahead of you. You're still in the canyon. So all you see is this mass of people, heading into the city on the right side. You are right in almost the middle. So on your left, across from this horse cart, are people streaming out of the city.
Would it be
You're in the side
to, like sabotage the horse cart in a way, like a wheel could fall off, or
hard to do that while walking. However, let's see, you could to have the wheel fall off would require a lot of work. But what you could do is you could potentially use performance and cause say, oh my god, this person behind you just ran over the kid, right? Something to the cart driver that would make him suddenly stop.
Yep.
There you go. So give me a performance roll.
Yeah, you want performance or deception?
Performance, because the goal is to cause a little mini scene within your pocket of movement. So give me a performance check. Boom. There's your last success, guys. So as you kind of move your way, you get right up alongside the wagon driver with the horse. And you just turn to him in shock and stop, and then the guy to the right of you just say, "Did you see that? He just ran over a kid. This guy just ran over. What are you doing? What are you thinking?" And immediately he just pulls on the rein. The guy next to you ducks in, cuts between you and Aragnis to go and check under the cart, and a pocket immediately stops tracking. And right as that happens, the three of you just duck right in to where that cart was leading the way, and you have a clear shot into the city.
Nice.
All right. So I'm going to say that you guys are going to make your way into the bazaar. You want to continue to put as much distance between yourself. Now, Darrowgate, you know exactly where the docks are. All right? So you guys, unlike the other group, don't need to stop and ask for directions, and you guys manage to make your way, surreptitiously. You're browsing, you're doing all the things you need to do to not stand out. You stop at stalls, and I would say that Aragnis and Jordan, you guys are working as a team. Aragnis, you will stop and inspect something, while Jordan takes up a position that you can keep an eye ahead of you, he can keep an eye behind you. You guys might buy a trinket here or there, a few copper, and you guys just continue to make your way, and no sight. Like with the stop that Jordan caused, It really disrupted traffic, and there's no way that thing is going to have time to turn around and head back in. So I'm going to say you guys are making your way towards the docks. Now, meanwhile, back to the other team. You guys are now Regic and Gorlag. You guys are heading towards Morag. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
His shop. Okay. So you guys make your way, and it is more of a back street. This is, well, it still has a lot of the same. All right, good. Music started. It still has a lot of the same feel. It's definitely marked difference between this area and the area that you were in. Most of the trade in the city, the quick trade, the people bringing in food from outlying farms, items to sell, they all set up in stalls right there in that main marketplace. And there's still quite a bit of traffic, but it's different. You don't see the wealthier side. There's not touristy type people. This is a very brisk trade. These are people who glare at you, and then ignore you.
Yeah, they're businessmen.
They're going about their business. You see people hanging out at alleyways and corners and things like that. What's the first plan of attack? Now, you guys have the rough idea. The guy, the street sweeper, gave you pretty good directions, and so you have a rough idea exactly where the shop is going to be. But here you are entering this side of the city. What do you want to do?
First thing I'm gonna do is look around to see if it would appear that there's anybody staring too long in our direction as we're walking.
Go ahead and give me that perception roll with advantage.
Specifically, staring too long with some malice.
Oh, well, okay, so you're looking for someone that might be like a street tough, or someone who's just looking for you. Okay.
That's what I would like to see, is someone who looks too long and looks like they mean as ill, or they mean as ill, because they're the
we look
people we need to talk to.
Yeah, well, we also look like easy targets because I look like a rich trader.
Thank you, Abby. Do you want a perception from me as well, or just from? Just from.
Even over great distances, local messengers, corrupt caravan master, seedy sailors. I was looking at your criminal contact feature to see how we could, what we could do with that.
It's a person that I know that has contacts, and I know how to get a hold of them, which is not it'd take a long time to contact that person, but I feel like I would have some ability to identify people that of ill repute.
Exactly. So go ahead and roll a perception, because both of you guys have similar backgrounds and you're both looking for roughly the same thing.
Yeah, we're like the same coin but two sides.
Oh. Exactly.
Use inspiration.
With advantage?
Was that with advantage? Yeah,
No.
you with advantage.
Okay.
All right. And you can use your inspiration.
I'm not going to use my inspiration.
Okay. All right. So, if you're both looking for exactly the same thing, Regic, you would know someone who, the way that you're viewing this would be someone who you would single out as an informant. Someone who you would know, if there was crime in the area or someone you wanted to squeeze for information. So you don't pick the biggest guy. You don't even pick a big guy. You pick a guy who just seems to be keeping tabs on everyone.
That's right.
And he has this just really slimy grin as you approach, and you just like all of your instincts are saying, bingo, this is the guy.
Right.
So you kind of come up to him, and he looks you over, and go ahead and roll an insight for me, both of you. Normal, no advantage. You can just see, both of you, his eyes are just lighting up, and he's just you can just see how the wheels are turning. How is he going to take advantage of you and just bilk you for everything that you're worth? Like, this is exactly the guy you're looking for, and yet if you weren't aware of him, it would be potentially a dangerous situation.
Okay. So I'll approach him. Well, actually, I'll look at Kraz and I'll say, before we approach, I'll say, "What is the plan? What do you want? What do you want to talk to this guy about? Do you want me to do the talking, or you want to do the talking?"
I'll let you do the talking, but we should. That person looks like they'd be connected to someone who knows something. We just need to offload illicit gear. That's all we need to suss out.
So I'll straighten my collar and clear my throat and head over to the guy.
All right.
I'll say,
I'm tagging along. I'll be right next to you.
Right. Yeah, I figured.
I'll say, "Hello, sir. You look like somebody who could who's interested in buying some antiquities."
He just kind of like looks at you, and then he says, and he just kind of puffs up. Now, this guy is a dwarf, actually, and he's clearly he's local. From just experience that any dwarves connected to the dwarven dragon-marked houses, they're bankers. They're the clothes they wear, the cut. I mean, they're connected individuals. They're almost like mobster style dress. There's and that's most dwarves. So it's kind of rare to see a dwarf that's not connected in some way, shape, or form. They tend to very much stick together. And so, he just kind of puffs up his chest a little bit. He's just kind of leaning against an alley, and he says, "It might be I knows a few things about in antiquities. Now, I might not be in the market myself, but old Garn knows many fine folk. What are you looking to trade?"
That's between us and Garm, I think. Can you point us to him?
He is Garm.
Oh.
He's referring to himself in the third person.
Oh.
I'll say we got some interesting things. I'll pull out. I have a crystal in my bag. I'll pull it out. I'm assuming it was something that we found that was pretty cool. I'm not sure how I got it, but I'm assuming it's.
I may have put a price on that. Is that in your inventory?
Yes, it's in my inventory. It just says crystal.
Okay. Let me take a look at it.
I don't remember where I got it.
I think it was an 8,000 coin or 8,000 gold crystal. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's a shard of a crystal.
That's what I remember.
It definitely looks like it's not. It would have some value.
Yeah, I'll show it to him and say, "Was he interested in it?" Or
He goes to take it, Do you
I
let
will.
him?
I will let him know.
You
I'll
won't let him.
immediately pull it back.
So you'll pull it back, and he says,
I'll say,
Oh, no offense, no offense. It might be I know someone who might be interested, but if that's all you got, I don't know that it would be worth his time.
I'll say to him, I'll look him directly in the eyes and have a tiny little smirk on my face and say, I might have something else.
Let's just say we're not from around here, and we've collected some odds and ends from all over the place.
Travelers, are ya? Yes, well, Morag's probably your best bet if you're looking to buy in bulk. But, what is the nature of these items? Precious gems and stones, or is there anything of a more colorful nature?
and he just kind of gives you a slimy, like, not friendly grin.
I'll say to him, to answer your question, good dwarf, we're looking for discretion with the items we sell. We're looking for someone who isn't interested in letting others know what we have, what they purchase from us.
I see. I think I get the drift. Haha. Items that, well, let's just say, they may have fallen into your laps, eh?
Exactly.
Have no fear. Morag, he'll definitely pick and choose, and you might be able to offload some of it. But I know others who are less discerning when it comes to an item's origin. Things like proof of sale aren't all that important, if you know what I mean.
Items as is, I understand.
Well, right this way, gents. We'll just take a shortcut down here.
And he motions towards the alley.
What's your fee?
Oh, old Garn has a finder's fee, that's it. But, you know, they'll handle that on their end, trust me. Nothing to you. Nothing you need to worry yourselves about.
And I'll say to him, I'll take a step forward so I get kind of in his personal space, and I say, I just want you to know, we're not alone. And if anything happens to us down this alleyway, you won't come out alive. Do you understand?
Roll and intimidate for me.
I'm gonna flash some teeth and sharp fangs at the same time.
Damn, you guys are freaking on fire tonight. As you do that, he kind of looks at you both, and he says,
I just remembered. Old Serac, he's out of the city. Let's go this way instead. It might be worthwhile to stop by and see old Morag. At least take a look at what he might be able to offload before we go to any others. Yes?
That sounds more like it. Take us some more.
yeah. I was going to have you guys...
I want to press 5 gold into his hand. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to.
That is. Okay. And are you going to say anything to accompany this small gift?
Nope. Not a thing.
And he kind of looks at you both, and he just says,
Right this way, gentlemen.
and he walks out of the alley. Now, I was going to have you both roll an insight, but I think you already knew there wasn't anything good that way.
Yeah.
He was taking you, and you guys played it phenomenally. Have either of you used inspiration?
No, not yet. I haven't.
Nope.
You have the ability to gift your inspiration to Aragnis, who has used his, and get a new inspiration if you choose to.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the easy
All right.
choice.
Aragnis, get your inspiration back. Okay. So you guys follow him as he leads you deeper and deeper into the market. And you're just kind of keeping an eye out, keeping wary. But you feel like you've properly greased the wheels. You feel like you've properly put the fear of, God into him. And, so far, you guys are good. As you guys are going, both of you give me a perception with advantage. Don't forget to hit the plus. There you go.
I'm rolling
all
for shit tonight.
You really are. But Ragic, everything looks good. You definitely see the same type, but what you're not seeing is anything like you saw on the way in. There's no one that's obviously posted and keeping an eye out. So as you continue to follow Garn deeper into the to the Warrens, everything seems pretty good. Over to the other group. And do you guys mind? I forget sometimes. Do we go till 10?
Yeah, 10:30 usually.
Okay. Do you guys mind if we just take a quick break? I need to put some like Visine in my eyes or something, and grab a drink. Be right back.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. And now that Nate is gone,
I'm muted.
I can't hear you, man.
Yeah. Now that he's gone, I'm going to step in as the temporary DM.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is
So
this
you
where we
guys,
level up?
Yep, exactly. You guys come upon two Dimetrodons with very large
Dimetrodon?
ball sacks. What do you do?
Slice them open.
I was
long.
gonna say. I was gonna pull out my ruler and measure the distance from his balls to the ground.
Please roll a medicine roll.
Okay. Damn it.
Perfect. No, that's great. Difficulty was 2. Like that was the target number. So, you guys all gain 3 levels. Congratulations.
Oh, right.
Hot damn.
And inside one of the ball sacks, you find a robe of the Magi
Oh my goodness.
and some
This game has just gotten 100% better.
I'm going to take out my journal and I'm going to press a piece of paper against the ball sack and rub some chalk on it so I can get rubbing for future reference.
All right, I'll allow it.
To know what to esteem to.
Just when I'm, when I got the alone time, I got
Life goals. Perfect.
I'm rolling great tonight. I should knock on wood.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we're all rolling pretty decent.
I am not. Almost every one of my rolls, except for that insight roll, has been single digit. I am Aragnis for the night. Oh no, I got a 12 on a.
You're the Aragnis for the night.
Yeah.
Winning that roll when I intimidated that guy is pretty cool, but I kind of want to know what was going to happen in the alley now.
You
Who's
jump.
gonna attack us. Yeah.
Jumped.
He jumped by a few of his buddies.
Yeah. What isn't going to be good?
What's great for me is every single role that he's given me tonight is something I'm trained in.
Yeah,
So
he's
in
been.
the alley. He was going to take your kidneys.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. Yeah, using the skills that you're good at to
Yeah,
We're all
the
grown up,
insight,
so we don't
intimidation,
have any
perception.
kidneys.
That's true. I can move my kidneys around. I can give him my thumb and make it look like a kidney. He won't even know.
He can have my adult knees.
Can you grow back appendages as a changeling?
No,
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Let's try.
At least I say that with like 94% confidence.
Yeah, I have a minor illusion, so I'll be able to, if I lose a finger, I can just minor illusion another one back. And as long as the item that I try to pick up believes it's real, I can pick it up.
A changeling cannot add appendages, so if you're missing one, you can't add you cannot add an extra one. So regrowth. Which
What
makes
if
sense.
you're a changeling that's great grandmother was a starfish?
So once an amputee, always an amputee.
You have a move of 2, but you can regrow your limbs.
But I can
can-
also wreck
you can turn your-
clams.
Stomach inside out, though.
Yeah, well, that.
In
That'll
fact,
get all the girls.
You have neither. You only have one orifice, and you use it for everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that aspect.
I
I don't
mean,
know if
so
it's
do
worth
birds,
So I gotta
so do
ask you,
birds and dinosaurs, I guess.
what's it like to taste your own butthole?
it. Not good. As a changeling, though, I would take my tongue and move it to somewhere else so I don't taste my own shit.
Good strategy.
I quit.
You guys,
I'm trying to think of the dang word for that.
what?
Cloaca? Saying that right?
Cloaca
That's
is
like
what
a
chicken
bird's
has,
blood.
That's
that
what's
right?
on the birds.
It's a chicken ass.
Yeah,
Everything comes out of it.
convenient, I guess.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
well,
we need
the
redundant systems.
the excrement is all wrapped up into one. So.
Yeah, exactly. They piss and shit at the same time. I mean, I do too, but out of 2 different holes. For some reason, whenever I take a shit, I have to piss too. I don't know why.
Not like a dog.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that like a human thing?
I don't. Yeah, I guess so.
Are you guys the same way? Do you piss every time you take a shit?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You sure that's the human way, Ryan?
It's got to be human.
Human way.
That's what
I
dreams are
can't.
made of.
I can't take a shower without feeling like I have to pee after I come out.
Well, that's
Wow.
inconvenient.
Pee in the shower.
That's an
Don't pee in
option.
the shower. At least if you
Hunter
do, don't
wants-
pee on the wall.
Hunter
I pee on the
said she
shower
wants you
every
guys
time.
to talk more about piss and shit.
Don't in the shower.
Dude, I went to a girl's house
Oh, wait,
and
no,
peed
no.
in her sink, and she got mad at me.
We got
I
3
would
levels
too.
while you were gone.
Actually, no. She said she wanted you to stop. My bad.
She wasn't mad. She was disappointed.
I just want you to know I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
We all
All
gained
right.
3 levels while you were gone, Nate.
I love it. Perfect.
Yeah, we measured Diametrodon's balls and at 3
I
levels.
think it was a Dimetrodon.
Dimetrodon,
yeah.
2 of them.
Epic
Yeah.
quest.
Yeah.
And we have a staff of the robe of the Magi and some caltrops.
Nice.
And etching or a rubbing of the balls as well.
That's right.
Suddenly, a Tarask enters the alleyway. Roll initiative.
Oh no!
All right. Everyone back?
I think so.
Okay. All right. So the other group, as Regic and Gorlag make their way towards Morag's shop, led by the illustrious Garn, you guys make your way towards the docks. And the way that you guys are heading, I'm going to have all of you roll another perception for me. This will be fairly low, DC. Okay, Jordan.
Are we still doing advantage or no?
Not this time.
Okay.
I set this as a pretty low, so I was going to say no. Jordan, something catches your eye as you're heading out of the market district, heading towards. Ooh. All
I don't know
right.
if that pushes
Aragnet,
me. And...
both of you.
All right.
DC 8. So, yep. Both of you see some wanted posters. And one of them is quite familiar.
Hmm.
As you look at a picture of Kraz.
Does it say I'm dangerous?
It does not say you're dangerous.
Does it say he has a dangerously small peepee?
No. I don't know if you really want to get that close. You can't read it, but the image is unmistakable.
I'll get
And
that.
it looks like Goblin. Goblin Kraz.
Yep, Goblin Kraz.
Okay.
Is it like on a public bulletin board or something?
Yeah, kind of. It's on a bulletin board, but it's like, schlacked onto a wall.
Okay,
You
so I'm
know how
not going
they-
to get to peel it off. It's glued.
Maybe. Do you want to go over to investigate?
I do, yeah.
All right. So
I'll
you guys
be-
head over. Are you all three going, or just one of you?
I think Jordan can just check it out by himself.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang.
Okay, so Jordan, as you head over, you also see different this time. It talks about the company. So in addition to a reward, it also talks about a changeling, a human soldier, like an ex-soldier, and it's something that you can only think of as yourself, as well as nah, that's it. So it clearly mentions you, Aragnis, and Regic, and there is another poster with a likeness of Aragnis as well. Now, amid those, there are other wanted posters as well. All of them have a similar design, right? So they're all you can kind of tell right away.
Where to claim the prize, or who to contact with information? Like, what's the follow-up?
It does list on there to see any information. Please contact the offices of the Federale of Gatherhold, right? The local magistrate.
All right, so that's the local police constabulary.
Exactly.
Mounties.
Are you going to try and Snag them or leave them?
Leaving them. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
But it's got a pretty good beat on us. I mean, if they're dropping obvious changelings, does it mention like any house marks or any real specifics like that as well?
No, all it says, because there's really only one of you that's dragon marked, and it just mentions an ex-soldier, a disgraced military. It might even go as far as saying like a deserter. So, after you kind of relay that information back to the rest of the team, you guys continue to make your way. So you arrive in the docks district. Now the docks are mostly airships. There's a lower dock level where there are some vessels, but with trade so disrupted by the Mournlands, not much traffic braves the river. So there's fishing vessels and things like that because the Lake Sire as a whole is still mostly accessible. But there's not a lot of like travel vessels that you can see. There are a lot of airships. And really there's a lot of airships. Like a crazy amount of airships. And the thing that you guys notice, there's nothing being loaded.
No coming and going at all?
No coming and going. It's very strange.
Do we see people manning the airships at all?
There's people, near them, but there's just not a lot of traffic, and you guys kind of overhear a bit of an argument happening of what looks like someone is arguing with an official of the docks, and he just kind of looks to be overwhelmed. The official, the dock master, whoever this guy is. Now you're too far apart, but you can occasionally catch out like some angry words like schedule to keep and this is ridiculous and why can't we board? And even one guy says, I will report this to the council. You will pay for keeping us here. You have no right. And again, the official is just trying to placate, but he's just going through the motions, and just trying to keep his calm. So you can hear that there's a lot of
so can I
ins and things like that.
Off?
Yeah.
Can I kind of like follow him and I want to like ask him questions?
Yeah. As the argument ends, are you going to
exactly.
signal or let Aragnis and Derogate know what you're about?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just kind of give him a nice hand signal and say, stay put for a second. I'm gonna.
All right.
Snoop.
Okay. So, are you going? All right. So, the guy walks away. Who is part of an airship crew, maybe the captain. You don't know. And he's walking away back towards where there's like a string of hotels and inns and things like that, and you can kind of see he's pretty upset.
Wow, that's really unfair what the dockmaster is doing to you guys.
He just kind of like he's like in his head, and he's angry, he's upset, and you kind of like take him off guard as he looks at you and he says, "They've grounded all the ships.
What?
I've never seen
Outrageous.
anything like this."
Who can stand for such barbarism?
And with that, he kind of
Civilization.
starts. Roll. What do you want to do? Do you want to strike up a
I want to get
conversation?
him talking and friendly, but
Yeah.
my goal is to learn
Roll
what
me
the
a-
justification for this is, or what information he's been told about the holdup, like what his, how he's reacting to it. Like, is he going to get underway in like 3 days? Is there ship inspections or boardings?
Yeah.
Just want to get a
Roll
rundown
me
operationally what's going on.
your choice. Roll me either a persuasion or a deception. Using deception, it would be more like to ingratiate yourself and really get him into thinking, oh yeah, you're a good guy, you're gonna commiserate with him. Or persuasion for the same thing, right? Just saying, so go ahead and roll whatever is higher.
I'll go with deception. That is higher.
Okay. 1 second.
I'll use my inspiration. I want to make this count.
Okay. All right. Make sure you check off your inspiration. And so you kind of start dropping hints. And how do you want to approach it? Do you want to approach it as if you are also?
My disguise is as like a tradesman, so I was thinking
Yes.
like a carpenter or something like that. Some kind
Okay.
of basic, where I'd offer a comparable skill. And I said, man, it's really hard. I'm I'm throwing in my lot with his because this egregious effect on his business is now affecting my business. Hey, I'll buy you a drink. Let's have a great life.
Perfect. So you guys kind of start making small talk, and you said, you ask him like, "Where are you staying? Let me buy you a drink. This is just terrible." And so you guys go in, you buy a drink, you buy a round, and he just starts, just talking and just venting to you. And what you learn is that by order of the city, all airships are currently grounded. Every single one. They haven't given a lot of information, but he goes as far as telling you, even my own house will do nothing. I've damn near worn out a speaking stone trying to get word to Stormhold, and nothing. I don't get it. Why are the houses going along with this bullshit?
This is
And-
just outrageous.
Yeah, and so you just keep, plying him with drinks, commiserating, and so you learn that as of a day ago, all airships were stopped
Everywhere, not just here.
in Gatherhold.
In Gatherhold. Okay.
Mhm.
So clearly they've got our number. They know right where we were most likely to turn up. Okay.
So after a bit, you kind of, say goodbye. Again, cheer up. Things will get better. I'm sure they'll start sending soon. And you just know that as of right now, they're not communicating any dates as to where, as to when the blockade will end.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, all right. So you kind of make your way back to Deergate and Aragnis, kind of update them on what you found. And what do you guys want to do next?
I think we need to find something that's not a 24-hour business, and I don't know, a fish processing plant or something where nobody hangs out. And
So are you looking to like not get an inn, not pay for an inn, and actually find a hideout, or
that
you
was
guys
my
just
that was my thought.
that was
Yeah,
your thought?
go totally low rent. And
I had a question about the airships first.
Yes.
Are they all? Is the elemental driven? Like, is that visible?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all airships owned and operated by House Lorandar. And there's about 7 airships docked, which is a lot. The fleet, even though it has continued to expand, airships are expensive to make, and the needs to have, actual dragon marked pilots, plural, per airship. I mean, the fleet is across all of Corvair. The fleet is probably only in the, sub 500. So to have 7 ships here in Gatherhold is a pretty sizable chunk, especially since they've been blockaded.
And boats appear to be functioning though, aside from airships?
Fishing boats,
Yeah.
yes. And so the other modes of transportation that you wouldn't know of, you've always got, animals, either mage-bred horses or perhaps some of the local flavor. You guys are all a little too big to ride like a Fasteeth, one of the little nimble dinosaurs that take one person. But there are larger beasts that you've seen, or lightning rail. There is a lightning rail that comes out of the city. And as you guys made your way in, you saw the lightning rail, which comes out at like a elevated bridge. So it comes out like through the cliffs. So it's going to be on a higher tier of Gatherhold. But again, so those are the main options that you know about. So at this point, you guys, with the delay, I would say probably 12 was unrealistic, since it's probably a little past there now, and Regic and Gorlag are just heading towards Morag.
Yeah, I would make the assumption that if we knew that we were hitting town at noon, like we were, we
You'd
pushed it
probably
forward.
choose, like 3 p.m. or something.
Right, 3 or 4 o'clock, somewhere around there.
All right, so you guys can choose to do some more information gathering. You could maybe inquire subtly about whether or not the lightning rail is running. You did not see any trains leaving as you guys were heading in.
How well would
Not running.
How well would we know the map of Corvair that we're looking at as a character?
Decent. You'd be familiar because you guys did do a lot of travel. So you would know Corvair pretty well. I mean, maybe not like as good as a player does, right? You know roughly where Breland is. You know roughly where Drome is. Is there anything in particular you're looking at?
Well, if we have reference to the map, like say I can make an assumption, as the player, I can make an assumption that you could travel from Lake Seer to this meetup spot that goes into an intersection with the lightning rail. And I don't know whether the lightning rail would stop there or if it would just keep going.
Yeah, there are undoubtedly towns along the route, but you wouldn't know exactly where they are. But that could be an option, right? If the lightning rail is running and you guys could maybe hop aboard or borrow a fishing ship then that could be an option where you head south from Lake Sire and maybe catch the lightning rail, maybe past the quarantine.
What do you guys think?
What makes the lightning rail go?
Lightning. No.
Yeah, like the control. Like, is there a
Right.
conductor? Is there a guy that
There
flips
is.
the switch?
Yeah, very similar to the airships. It requires the pilot, the conductor, if you will, has to be someone with a dragon mark from House Orient. They're the only ones that can actually control. So it is similar concept, although it's not an elemental. There is stones created by House Cannith, and really most of it was created by House Cannith, and they're the train itself, doesn't have wheels. It uses this bound electricity, somewhat
Like a
elemental
maglev or
forces.
something.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like a maglev than your traditional steam locomotive.
I think like with
So
all this
stealing a
attention that we
train
have-
and setting a train on a runaway course, those are things that are outside our ability.
do you think we'd be able to like smuggle ourselves out? Like talk to the fence? Maybe they know somebody who specializes in bringing in and taking out illicit goods, and we
Oh,
could
sure.
hire passage out of the city. With all the
Yep.
attention that's on us, I feel like we should get out without anybody knowing.
Yeah, and I think yeah, my direction would be to maybe send Jordan in to converse with some local fishermen or something like that, since Aragnis and Derogate are probably the most conspicuous of our group.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, so what are we looking to learn? I just want to see if fishing boats are getting on and offshore.
Sure.
On and offshore, and if you
Get
converse
across the
really
lake.
well and hit it off with them, maybe we can get a contract to have him bring us across.
So I'll do you one better. I'm going to say that Jordan. Now, again, you guys don't know the city. No one here knows the city well enough to know. I'm going to pick out this, abandoned warehouse as a holdup. You guys would probably be more inclined, at least to start, to rent a couple rooms. So I would say Aragnis and Derogate, maybe find some place that you guys want to hold up for a little while, even if you only rent it for one night and then move elsewhere. And then Jordan can go and gather information. I'm going to have you roll. Yeah, you don't have a. It's really going to be investigate. But I'm going to say that I will give you advantage on your investigation roll because you're going to be using a combination of deception and persuasion. And it's more a charismatic information gathering than like
You want to just do
traditional
a raw
investigating.
charisma roll or something then?
What's that?
You want to just do a raw charisma roll or something instead?
No.
That. And how do we get the advantage? We re-roll it?
Yeah.
Plus? Oh, no.
Yep,
which
hit the
one?
plus.
Okay,
Yep, there you go.
that's better.
And then do it to the next one as well. And then do one more. All right. And last but not least, one more investigation roll with advantage. Boom. Okay. So Jordan is talking with the crew, talking with sailing crews. He's just kind of moving up and down the strip, gathering information, having drinks. I would say it's probably going to cost you about 20 silver, Jordan, as you buy drinks for people and buy rounds, etc. So it'll cost you about 20 silver to gather this information. All right?
What's the conversion rate on gold to silver these days?
10 silver is 1 gold. So 2 gold or 20 silver. All right. So while that's happening, back to Regic and Gorlag. Do you have a pseudonym, Regic?
I did. I
An
forgot
alien?
already. Hadim.
Hadim. All right. Hadim Short Peter. No, just kidding.
That's right.
All right. So
Hadim Uncut.
uncut. All right. I love it.
Hadim the Uncut.
All right. So you definitely notice a much improved countenance from Garn. He's already just counting the money he'll make, both from whatever finder's fee Morag sends his way, plus the 5 gold that Gorlag already gave him. So he's happy, and he takes you there. But you guys do enter through a back door, and you are in a small little waiting room. And he just turns to you guys and he says, wait here, lads. I'll be right back. I've got arrangements with Morag. He knows he leaves this room open for private business. And
I'll say real quick before you leave. Can you give us any information on Morag's temperament? Is he grumpy? Is he a happy man? Like, give us some sort of idea of what we're dealing with.
He kind of he does one of these. He's thinking. He just kind of keeps rubbing.
I toss him a gold.
Gold.
Thank you, sir. He's a shrewd man, Morag is. He's well connected. There are whispers and rumors that the city guard, the city watch, looks the other way at some of his dealings. A powerful man, well connected to the underground. It's always best to treat such men with respect, and step lightly. But that man would sell his own grandma for the right price. So be careful and know the worth of your items, gentlemen.
I'll say thank you, and I'll kind of like nod my head to the door, like on your way.
Be right back. And so he's gone for a little while, and you kind of hear some talk towards the front of the shop, and eventually a very, very large halfling comes back, and he's accompanied by 2 brutes. One is like a half orc, and the other is a fierce looking gnoll. And this thing, they're both just decked out in like studded leather armor, and both of them are carrying like wicked looking cudgels, and they're both fairly intimidating. And the halfling kind of waddles back, and he motions for both of you to follow him as he opens a side door and brings you into a very well appointed office. And as he goes in, the half orc immediately follows, whereas the gnoll sticks back and just kind of waits for you to enter the room. As you enter the room, there is a really nice looking fireplace that's not currently lit. The temperature here is you know, a lot hotter than, and no need for like a fire, but it is beautiful. Like, it is marble. The mantle has intricate items. It has you know, it is everywhere you look. There's curiosities. There's statues. There's a really intricate and well appointed globe sitting on a side table. On another side table is a whole like bar worth of crystal decanters with various colors and shades, from clear to amber to like almost a blood red that looks like alcohol. And he kind of waddles around, sits in this like huge executive like style chair, and he just kind of motions to two, you know, rather plain but still nice like wingback chairs that are sitting, and you notice right away that they are fairly low, and so immediately you are on eye level with this guy as you slow, as your chairs are a little bit below what his be.
What's his species again? Sorry.
He's
Halfling.
Halfling. Okay.
Halfling. Immediately, the half orc goes to the side table and pours a goblet from the really dark blood red decanter, brings it over. He takes a drink. Again, he's not said a word. He's motioned to you guys. He's not said a word. He takes a drink. He sets it down, and he just kind of looks at you both.
So he sat down.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he's motion, and I assumed you guys had sat down too.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. And he just looks at you. He says,
I'll say I'll say, is it common courtesy to give your guests a drink as well?
He looks towards Gorlag, and then he just he nods over to the half orc, and he says to you, "What will you have?"
I'll have what you're having.
I'm fine.
He grins, but nothing touches his eyes, and he just says, "A gentleman of taste." And he nods over towards the half orc, who fetches a smaller glass, not like a big goblet, but a small, like a rocks glass, brings it over to you, and hands it to you. And then he takes up a position. So the gnoll is just inside the door, blocking the door. He takes up a position behind and just to the right, and just kind of stares ahead. He's not even looking at either of you. He waits for you to take a drink.
I don't take it yet. Hold on.
Okay.
So he gives me the drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at Morag. Is it Morag or Morlag?
Morag.
Morag. I'm gonna look at Morag and say, I just want to start these negotiations on a toast to new friends and potentially fantastic business opportunities. And I'll put my drink up.
Persuade to go along with that. Damn. He he inclines his head, and you can see right away that the toast went over well. He raises his glass to friends and business. Yes, and he takes a long swig. Immediately grimaces. Do you take a drink as well?
Yes.
Okay. It is potent. I mean, it's a dark, almost blood red, but it is like grain alcohol. Like it burns the throat.
I'll say, ho, ho, ho! That'll put hair on your chest.
Ha ha! Indeed it will! What can I do for you?
I'll motion over to Gorlak, and I'll say, can I see the bag of holding I'll be asking for?
Go ahead.
Perhaps we address the items one at a time.
I'll say, I got this. I'm sorry, this is my partner. He's a little nervous. Can I please have the bag?
He's just kind of like looking at both of you. I hand it over.
I hand it over to him begrudgingly. I'm sure this.
As you do, like as you're handing, you see the half orc reach down to a scab, a sheathed sword, just kind of like getting ready. And then even the gnoll kind of reacts, and he's like, "Gentlemen, it is okay. Garn has vouched for these gentlemen," and they visibly relax as you complete handing the bag over.
I'd like to lean
Regic.
over to Regic. And whisper, just the mundane items.
Of course. I'll give him. I won't say of course, but I'll look him in the eyes and like give him the nod. So I'll reach into the bag and I'll pull out the rabbit fur sash. That's
on
Wearing that.
both I'd be careful about the Peter Bound book, because that is a crude copy of Derogate's.
Well, okay.
So the rabbit fur sash is actually on Derogate's person.
Oh, that's
All right,
in
so
the
what
party
is in-
treasure. I'll remove it.
Yeah, it is, but I just never transferred it over.
Okay, I'm removing it.
Okay, so all right, so I will pull out the ornate dagger,
One
the
at a time.
scimitar.
One at a time.
Well, I'm just gonna do 3 things at once,
Damn you.
and I'll pull out what is this mysterious statue? Is that on this too? I just want to know what it is.
Yeah, it's just a.
So Xanon. I said Xanon knew, and I'm going to stick with it. Xanon identified that as a statue of a Delkir.
And what is that?
It's like an idol. The Delkir are nasty. Like, they tried to take over all of Eberron thousands of years ago, and to this day, most of the dwarves in the Maror holds still to this day have some form of conflict. They're the big evil hidden in the shadows nasties.
Okay, and I'll pull out I guess a potion of gaseous form,
Okay.
and I'll say, this is just a taste of some of the items that we have for sale. Feel free to take a look at them and see if anything's interesting.
My partner has made a mistake, and I pluck the potion out of his hand and put it back in the bag. And I whisper again, the mundane items.
So he's Morag just continues to study the both of you, and looks between the two of you. The two items that are left, the ornate dagger as well as the mysterious statue. He kind of looks them over. The dagger he holds and kind of weighs and sets aside after a while. And the statue, he looks, he weighs, and he finally says to you, "This is pure gold, very intricate." He kind of looks between both items and he says, "What ancient temples have you been scouring for these?" And he just kind of grins and chuckles
It's not.
as he.
I'll say to him,
Let me. It's not. It's not what we've been done. It's who we've come across. If you catch my drift.
yeah, exactly. I'll say, yeah, exactly. We wouldn't be coming to
Roll me a persuasion, Gorlag.
Not a deception.
Or deception. Deception would work too. That's probably even better.
And I'm going to use my inspiration on this.
Go for it. Just hit the plus.
God
There.
damn it!
Okay, here's the cool thing though. Inspiration or deception is opposed.
deception is a what?
Opposed.
Opposed rolls.
Oh.
He looks at you and you don't think he believes you.
I will say,
He just kind of says, "Sure. What else? God led me to believe that you had many valuable items."
I'll say, it's the art of negotiation. We got time for that. What I need to know what you can offer me. I wouldn't have come to you if I was just going to sell a mundane item. I came to you for other reasons. And I'm not necessarily looking for gold.
He raises one eyebrow. Indeed.
I'm maybe looking for information as well as a possible transportation. I've been told by our dwarven friend that you are a man of a very resourceful man who can get me things that I may need. And one of them is discretion on travel.
Oh, my friend. Travel right now will be very expensive.
But it's not beyond you, is it?
He seems he grins at that.
Nothing is beyond me. I have much influence in this city. However,
And he just kind of nods at these items. And he says,
it will be much, much more expensive than this.
So how many idols total?
2.
2 idols.
All right.
Take those.
So I will reach in, I'll pull the first idol out, and I'll say, take a look at this. This fell into our laps. And I'll hand it to him.
He looks at it. He looks at it all, and he says, "I know this.
You know this
Where-
idol?
Did you say you got this from?"
Let's just say we came across a group of unfortunate individuals who were waylaid in the desert.
This
And their items may have become our items.
this group. Can you describe them?
Well, what was left of them was not very noticeable, but there was a small number, 4 or 5. There was a human, couple human. How many humans we have? There was a couple humans and a Warforged.
Just out of character, no one knows he's a Bioforged except for us.
Correct.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Yeah. He would.
I wouldn't have said that. I'd say there's a few humans in the group.
And what else? 4, you say?
4 or 5. I think one of them. They look like 4, but I think one of them. There might have been another one.
Roll me a deception. Can you remember where you found them?
Don't you deal in items?
I deal in many, many things. Holds up a finger and he brings out a stack of wanted posters. Kraz, Ragnar.
Can I
Regin.
lean over and rifle through them a bit?
Yeah.
I point out Kraz. This one was particularly nasty.
And I'll point to Aragnis and I'll say, I don't recognize the face, but he definitely, one of the bodies had that same tattoo. House Deneath. I'll say, but I don't, was there one for Derogate?
No.
I'll say, I'll take out my journal and I'll show him the picture of the creature I drew, the measle.
Uh-huh.
And I'll say, I found there were also bodies of these creatures. Have you heard of them?
Yes. They are nasty things, desert dwellers, but useful.
Yes, those creatures, there was bodies of those creatures as well. They had nothing of value, but the people we found with these idols definitely, they did not, it appeared that these creatures did not loot their bodies at all.
And this group, this group that you came across, were they alive?
They were dead. There was definitely 4 dead bodies, but
If you want anything else, it'll cost you.
Indeed, as all things do.
He raises his glass to you,
I'll raise it.
Gorlag.
I nod.
My friends, this is interesting news.
You see, the houses are after these 4. They have blocked all trade, all movement, the lightning rail, the airships, they are grounded. My own business suffers.
I must rely on more primitive means to move trade, yes? Were you able to take a group to these men? Perhaps some of these, and he kind of points to the wanted posters. Some of the reward can be shared, yes? In addition, I could arrange passage.
I'll say,
There's a problem with all of this.
What problem?
We don't leave bodies behind when we acquire what we're looking for.
Give me another deception roll. Oh, dang it.
Shame. This could have cleared up much. Would you be willing to talk to a particular group? They are here working on behalf of the City Watch, but I know they work for the Council of 12.
What's in it for us?
Reduced cost on travel, of course. You convince them. These, and he points at the wanted posters. These men are dead. My business resumes, and you have your travel.
If this is as important as it grounding trade, and your business isn't the only one that's suffering, I'm sure. It is worth more than reduced rates on travel.
we want to guarantee travel, and we'll if we're going to do what you suggest, we want guaranteed travel.
That can be arranged. I understand if you are hesitant to speak to this group.
No. There's no hesitation. I just want to know if this is so important. Information is king, isn't it?
Yes. But I don't understand. This sharing of information helps you as much as it does me. Why should I pay?
Not you.
You can have the bounties if we can verify the deaths of these individuals. We just need passage. That's all we came here looking for. Discreet package travel.
He points to the idol.
This here. Do you know what this is?
A statue.
A very expensive statue.
Yes. But it is a particular statue, you see.
And he stands up and he goes back to this bookshelf. And he's like searching. Ah, yes. He grabs this big tome and he slams it down. And as he opens it up, you see drawings of quaddles and dragons. And he says, "Look! This was the alliance these creatures gave themselves to free the world of evil. But they are the last. But there were shrines deep in the Kabaran jungles. It is said that these men came from there. These," and he motions the statue. This thing is fucking heavy. But he kind of motions to it. "These here could be proof. Let me take this to these men.
along with your descriptions, and I will convince them that they are dead.
I will pull out Lorinak's signet ring and say, I don't know if this helps, but I also found this on one of the bodies, and give it to him.
Oh,
He looks it over.
This could help. This was from the bodies?
It was from one of the males. I don't know who it was. Like I said, these bodies were heavily mutilated. But I did find this signet ring. I don't know who it belongs to, but it may help.
This could work, yes. This will do nicely. So I take these items,
And he motions towards these two.
I'll say, before you take the items, I need some guarantees. I need you to offer us a place to stay. A safe house, if you will. And I need to have some sort of guarantee that you will not cut and run.
Roll me one more deception.
Oh no.
Because he's doing an insight check.
I don't have my inspiration anymore because I gave it away.
No, you got one. By
Yeah, I
giving
wanna-
it away, you got one.
Yeah, I want to use it.
Okay?
So this means roll again.
Just hit the plus sign to roll with advantage. Ha ha ha, you lucky bastard. Alright, because he's rolling insight because he's not really sure why you guys are being so secretive. Right?
Yep.
Because you found loot, you found dead bodies, what's to hide, right? Now, but he seems satisfied. So he says
it may take some time to clear for the blockades to lift. But the best I can do, I do not control the airships. No one does. However, I know of a captain who is amenable to certain requests and has been most advantageous to have in shipping certain items.
I'll say that'll do.
I will make introductions. In the meantime,
he gives you the name of an inn.
tell Yoren, tell Yoren that Morag sends you. He will give you private rooms and keep you off the books. Yes?
Much appreciated, my friend. And I'll raise my glass and I'll say, it's been a pleasure. And take another sip.
Is this all you wish to sell?
I'll look at Gorlag and I'll say, are you satisfied or do you want more?
seems like you're in charge, so offer up what you will.
So I would say, whatever you guys want to sell, I've got the prices in there of what he's willing to trade. So all you got to do is delete the item and add the gold for whatever you want to sell.
Okay, so we gave him one statue. Didn't give him both.
Yeah, but you don't get anything for that because he's taking that and turning it in.
Right.
Same with Lorinak's ring, signet ring.
And the statue says 300 gold.
Yep.
And we don't have the sash.
So I am removing Lorinak's signet ring.
Ryan, are you adding the gold to the?
I haven't had
up at
anything
the
yet.
top?
I haven't taken anything out yet.
Okay, I'll track it.
Okay, hold on.
so-
I'm going to change the quantity of the idol to be 1. Are you going to try and sell the other one?
I don't think I want to get rid of it yet because I don't know later on down the road if this thing.
He
will
might
come
not
into
be the
war.
best person because he rolled a nat 20 on his history roll. Recognized it immediately. He might not be the one to sell it.
Yeah, I don't think I want to get rid of it yet.
Okay. So anything else, if it has a gold item, except for the pewter-bound book.
All right, I would say I want to get rid of all of the weapons. We don't need any of that
Go
stuff.
ahead. Matt, whatever you guys want, you can nuke. And then you guys are going to, I'm assuming when you're done, you're going to head towards the docks.
Yeah, we got to meet back up.
Okay. Andrew. Here are the results of your activity. And you're in a mostly good area. So you know that the airships are being grounded. You found that out. Currently, the lightning rails are not running, and there are rumors of unexpected stops and searches along both north and southbound traffic.
Foot traffic and animals and that.
lightning rail.
Oh, okay.
So the trains are being stopped and searched north and south.
Oh, but they're not stopped.
Huh?
You said they were stopped.
They're stopped, but trains are still coming in from both north and south. They're just not going out of Gatherhold.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, logistically, that can't last. They're going to run out of room in their train
Right,
seat.
exactly. But they're actively being searched. And some of the trains are not even stopping. They're bypassing Gatherhold. The only other thing you find out, so you talk to some of the sailors, and there's a couple that you get the impression that they would be willing to take you for a fee. So you got a couple contacts that could take you. The last thing that you find is there's a lot of rumors about a group from the Council of 12, and you pick up enough to know that they are arbiters, asking questions and spending a lot of times near the docks.
Okay.
So, Matt, if you have taken everything out, as you guys are getting ready to go, so as you've kind of given everything over, he kind of looks at you guys and he says, "There may be another person you may want to talk to." And he kind of, just kind of looks at you guys, thinking. And he says, "I will send word. They're in a bit of a predicament and may be more willing. I don't know how long this will take to clear up. How quickly do you need to leave the city?"
I'll say preferably the sooner the better.
However, we may be swayable.
It might be worth talking. They are in a similar situation. Yes, I will make the arrangements. Head to the hotel. I will send word.
I will give him a bow and gather up my things and walk towards the door.
Okay. So you guys make your way towards the docks. You see Garn, who looks pleased and waves and bows, but doesn't really approach. And then you guys make your way back to the docks. I'm going to say that both of you also see wanted posters.
Okay.
Along your way back.
Are they everywhere or?
It's scattered about. There's a lot of them.
Okay.
And you hear bits and conversations as you go, as you're kind of listening. People are talking about searches, things like that.
The watch. The watch is everywhere.
Okay.
This could get problematic for our compatriots.
Yes, for sure. We need to get out of this city as soon as possible.
Without making it look like we want to get out as soon as possible.
I think we have an ally here with Morag, but I still don't trust him.
Why, I don't think he's an ally at all. If he knows who we are, we're screwed. I'm nervous about his safe house.
I agree. We have to be vigilant.
I want to say that you guys are all together now, so you guys can all be talking about
okay.
this
Right.
instead of just the two of you.
So I'm going to assume.
I'm
I'm going to assume that you guys all heard what happened, so I don't need to fill you in detail to detail. You know what went down. We'll just pretend like we.
Urgently, we need to get out of the docks districts because it seems to be heavily interesting to other parties.
And-
Parties.
And just so you guys so it's out there in the open, without question, between you guys combining information from what Jordan found and what you heard from Morag, there is a servitor cell in the city hunting you.
That's what I assumed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's
And if they are anywhere as skilled as you are, that's not good.
Yeah, I am going to. When we get back to we're going to go back to the safe house. Is that our goal, or are we going to just skip it?
I think you and I should go to the safe house, and then the others should find a different one.
Okay.
Untethered to Morag.
So I will.
To save
I will,
face and to get our information, I think we need to go there.
I'll say to Jordan, Ragnus, and Derogate, I'll look him right in the eye and I'll say, this is extremely dangerous for the three of you. There's wanted posters everywhere. The entire populace is on edge. Trade has slowed to a crawl. The three of you cannot be found.
The two of you.
Why two?
Jordan's pretty.
nondescript.
Derogate isn't being hunted.
Yeah, he
Ragnus
is.
and Jordan.
Well, he's not. He may
Well-
not be being hunted by the servitors.
He's been.
That's what- I know he's hunted by the little measles or whatever they're called.
Yeah, but the
measles. They're literally measles. It's
Measles.
amazing.
But Jordan and
Contagious.
Ragnus are the ones that I'm worried about.
I'm mostly worried about Ragnus. He's the highest ranking member in our group. He has tattoos. You guys got to stay out of sight as much as possible. Did you find a place to stay?
And his tattoos. We discussed this last session though. His tattoo is not visible.
Doesn't matter if a single
Yeah.
guard
I agree.
pulls him over and is like, "Let me look at your arm," whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys find a safe house for yourselves to stay at?
No, not yet. the dock districts got hot. We were looking at things near there, but it doesn't make sense.
I mean, we can all go to the same spot, but I worry about that. And I also worry if we don't go to the spot that Morag has hooked us up with, that he'll come looking for us, and we won't be available to speak to the 12.
I agree with you. We need to be there, but they're not expecting anything more than just you and I.
You guys need Overwatch for whatever kind of meetup you're going to have, though.
Right. So maybe if we go separately, you guys get separate rooms.
Across the street from this place.
Or
Derek
that works
can come
too.
with us. We did say we weren't alone, so Derogate coming with us backs up our story.
True.
Right.
But the only thing I worry about with Derogate is if this is an ambush and he has the book. That's what I worry about. I don't know if it's worth risking it falling into somebody else's hands.
That's fair.
But it's up to Derogate if you're willing. If you'd rather be with us or with Aragnis and Jordan.
Well, I think they're looking for us. No matter where I am, there's a servitor cell in the city, and we're hiding out. I think we're still pretty equally in danger, so I could go either way. I don't have a strong preference.
Well, the reality here is I have a feeling that this second group that we're meeting up with is this servitor cell. And it's easy for Kraz and I, because we are changelings, we can disguise ourselves, but Derogate, if they have any idea who you are and they meet up with us, we're dead in the water.
When you put it like that, it sounds like a good argument for me to not go.
But I do like the idea of having the three of you watching our back in the event that things go south.
I think that's a good idea as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is the meetup happening at the safe house? Where is the meetup happening?
Later.
We don't know yet. We don't know the details. But what I'm going to do is I think we should travel separately. I will use my telepathy spell to keep in contact with Aragnis, and we need to see if there's like a place relatively close, another inn close by that the three of them can stay, possibly, or maybe an abandoned building or something.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about an abandoned building earlier. It might be nice to not have anybody see us checking in and going to a room. Where
Exactly.
somebody can track us down.
Telepathic speech is 30 feet and line of sight.
I thought it was like 60 yards or something. My bad. Yeah, so anyway, let's head to that district in two separate groups and just before we even go inside, I think we need to do some recon and just take a look around. Specifically looking for another inn nearby, or maybe what might be an abandoned house.
I like the sound of that. Empty. I like to also mentioned earlier an empty business, something that's not open at night. One of these non-24-hour things.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out there. You guys made quite the impression on Garn. He might
He
know.
probably has a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Though he's connected, like the problem is he is connected to Morag in some way, shape, or form. So our goal is to find a place that is unconnected from Morag and this whole servitor shit.
True.
The other thing, Matt, is you could take the time. So you guys have other options too, or at least something to think about. Atreus gave you a cipher for making contact with him.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the ability to reach out to your criminal contact who may have information to share or contacts of their own to share within Gatherhold. and you would also have a secure way of communicating with him.
That I think that is actually a really good idea.
I also like the idea of contacting Atreus. Can I contact him right now?
Yeah, I mean, either Regic or Kraz/Gorlag are the best ones, because you guys could also assume a shape literally just for the interaction with the agent from House Civis, and then immediately abandon it when you step around the corner.
Right. I just want to talk to Atreus and just ask him if he has any loyal people in this town in particular. If the answer is no, then we'll just move on to the next.
So the way it would work is you would leave a message and then have to check back for a message at a later point, right?
Okay, then I'll just skip that. Then we won't do that then.
Well, it still might not be a bad idea to check and get a message sent.
It'll take time for me to get information from my contact as well.
Right. Yeah.
Well, okay, fine. We'll do both things at the same time.
Okay. So as you guys go there, you each have a different agent you work with. So you each have your own member of House Civis using their stone. Regic, after you give the proper identification, speak the password or wherever it is, the agent informs you that you have a message waiting.
I'll say, may I hear it, or give it to me in private, or whatever?
So they give you, because this is a drop, so the stone is used, they give you the message.
Okay, I'll take the message.
You would have to have the cipher to decode it. Did you still want to send a message, or is that all you're going to do is walk away?
For now, I'll walk away.
Okay. So you walk away. Matt, you so Gorlag, you make your you send out your communication. Let them know you're seeking to make contact and you're done. And when you rejoin Regic, he informs you that you guys have a waiting message from Atreus, or at least someone from the Marshals of Korth.
Yeah, and I'll make sure I get with a group, maybe in an alley somewhere. So I imagine by now it's starting to get dark.
Yeah, I would say it's probably about 5:36. Definitely, maybe not completely dark, but it's dusk. You guys find a small place. It's a short message. You decode it, and it simply says,
Sup, bros?
avoid gather hold. There is a servitor cell after you, and they know about the book.
Oh my god.
End
Well,
scene.
that message is a little late.
And that's where we end.
God damn it, I was joking.
All right. So where we're gonna leave off?
Fence building.
Yep, you guys have to find a spot. You've talked about what you're gonna do. At least was it Darrowgate, Gorlag, and Regic are going to the inn that Morag.
I think we decided against that plan, just in
Okay,
case.
so just the two of you.
Yep.
What are the three of you gonna? What is the plan for the three of you? Are you heading to?
My
I'm
contact
gonna
was to
say-
find a safe house.
Okay, so you guys are just gonna wait.
Well,
try to
I'm
hear back.
looking for a safe house that's unattached to Morag.
Okay.
I'm going to tell the boys, I'm going to say, if I think that we're in probably the most dangerous situation we've ever been in. If you have to, There's always the sewers. Spend the night in the sewers.
Matt,
Yeah.
you can absolutely give an alias if you want, or Gorlag, with the House Sivir and just pay, 50 copper, or I would say probably 2 silver, and have the message delivered once it arrives.
Yeah, I would do an alias, but yeah.
Okay.
2 silver.
Yep. So deduct a 2 silver, and as soon as you hear back from your contact, courier will be sent to the address you gave them. So whatever, if you give them the address of the inn,
Yeah. I do.
So you're set there. And that's where we end tonight, boys.
All right. Thank
We'll snipe Sally's, boys.
I'm getting all crazy.
Awesome. Well, thanks
Stop
everyone,
the stream.
and
you.
yep,
Later.
we'll see you 2 weeks from today.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
Bye.